All right, guys, I wanted to do an initial review for Borderlands 4 on a PS5. Try saying all that 5 times fast. My initial response to the presentation of this game and how fun it is to play. My initial response is to delete Borderlands 3 because I don't see me going back to it after I've experienced here over the past. Yesterday I really got on it and I wasn't trying to get into it. I wanted the game to kind of suck me in, and it did. Uh, I was a little like me and Little Mama. We played co-op for about 3 hours. It's pretty solid in that regard. And yesterday I sat down and played it by myself to see like what is the experience, right? Because you can kind of get a little distracted when you're playing in co-op, and you can kind of like miss, I don't know, some immersive aspects of an open world game like this because of it, right? Um, so the game runs amazing on a PlayStation 5 as opposed to PC. And to that I say, my fellow PC gamers, I'm with you in your feelings about the game not launching the way it should have on PC. And I would even argue all of the commercials that I saw leading up to this game's launch was way overdone. I was seeing Borderlands 4 commercials, and I wasn't even watching content on YouTube about it, guys. I wasn't even looking it up. And I was getting bombarded with Borderlands 4 commercials every day. Almost every other commercial was a B4 commercial. I don't even get that with freaking Call of Duty. And it's way bigger than Borderlands, right? So I think that they could have took half of their PR campaign money and pushed it into the PC port to make sure that it's a stable experience. It may, even if they could just have just locked it into 60 frames per second for PC, just for right now. Of course, PC would have complained about that because they love, they want it to be like 3,000 frames per second, right? But if they could have just tried to lock in the bare necessities for right now, right, that would have been great. But they didn't. So we have another game releasing for PC, not in the best of shape, and people are upset about that. And I don't know, did you guys see any of the PC players who got to play the game? Right? Did they mention any of that to you when they said, oh, I got to play the game early? This is why I don't like videos like that, guys. I don't like watching other people try to convince me that they're playing the game that I'm going to be buying. They're not. They're not playing the game you're going to be buying, right? They're playing a build of it, right? That's all they're doing. So we have another example of a bait and switch on launch. Not fair. And I'm with you. I'm with you, my honeys. I feel like that is so never going to be acceptable, right? So, yeah. With that little thing out of the way, Borderlands 4, a lot of fun. It sucked me into its world. The story is, I have no idea. I don't care. So maybe I'll care when I get to the end of the story. I'll be like, yeah, looking back, it was actually a really interesting story. It's everything I wanted in a Borderlands game, set in a Far Cry experience. It's a combination of those two. Oh my gosh. The random events. I don't know how random they're going to be, okay? So I've been hit with like random moments in the game, and I'm just wondering, is it going to be like Red Dead Redemption 2 random events where you're saving the same lady over and over again whose horse fell on her, or some guy getting snake bit or something like that, or bounties screaming for help, or you know what I mean? So are they really random events, or are they scripted, right? So the jury's still out on that, but I've had some incredible moments just trying to get from point A to point B in this game, and awesome. So I did pick Harlow, and I have a little bit of a problem with Harlow. I'm not crazy about this gadget of hers. When she deploys it, it's very rainbowy, and that's visually it's quite distracting when you're on the battlefield. I'm getting a little used to it, so I anticipate the visual confusion before I drop it now. But still, it can still catch me off guard because of how colorful it is. I had to turn the the lighting down on this game almost to zero because it was way too bright. I was getting a headache for the first 3 hours. Played it until I turned down I turned it all the way down. You can turn Claptrap's voice down, but be ready for it, because if you go in and you start turning Claptrap's voice down, he starts giving you a hard time and putting you on a guilt trip because you're turning him down. So overall, yeah, Harlow is a lot of fun to play. I picked her because she's a Trant, and I love the Trants from Borderlands 3, Sammy and Daniel Trant. So apparently she's the youngest of the Trants, and I couldn't resist. I had to pick her straight out of the gate for a single playthrough. She's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Very, very solid on the PlayStation 5, with two things though. The Tiny Tina's Wonderland problem that I kind of have with that game. When you pull up your inventory, you'll see the gun manufacturer, but you can't get any more information because sometimes your backpack's inventory icons, little icons for the different weapons you have, blanks out just like in Tiny Tina's. I had a badass actually clip through the ground just once in all the 10 hours, well, all the 12 hours that I played this. I think I saw like one enemy clip through the ground, only to respawn behind me. In a world where games could launch in a lot worse state, this game is solid. It's audio, like it's music. It's all very well done. They do need to tweak it a little bit. I'm a little concerned with I don't know, because it's only been 12 hours. I hope this is not one of those deals where after you get to level 2025, all of a sudden you log in and your Vault Hunter's back to level 5 and stuff like. We saw that in Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and I certainly hope that bug has not found its way into this game. That would be so I'm kind of nervous, right? Because I'm at level 14. That could change, right? I hope they took care. They squashed that bug, or it's just not in this game. And one more thing, the game's economy is this is what I wanted. I felt like B3 went over the top with the weapon drops and the apps. Like B3's economy was wrecked by the amount of weapons that you can find, or it's like randomly you take down some mid-boss and he just explodes into loot. There's loot here, there was loot there. It got out of hand way quick. So I'm happy to see that they rebalanced the economy. It feels more like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That economy, I think that one was much better than B3. So yeah, Borderlands 4. I don't see me going back to Borderlands 3. You know, everything that I enjoy out of a Far Cry game fused with the action of Borderlands. I didn't even know I needed this game in my life. But it's great. It's wonderful. So that's my initial review. Now, I will follow this up with when I get to the credits, which I'm not sure when that'll be, because I mean, I'm kind of taking my time. I haven't even really gotten into the other two regions of the world yet. I've sort of been hanging out in the first region because I'm still learning what this game has to offer, but it didn't take long for it to hook me. This is the standard edition. This is not with any of the extra bells and whistles. This as a standalone title without all the extra stuff that's coming out later. And I have no idea what those DLCs are going to be like, but if it's anything like B3, out of all the DLCs that launched for B3, there was only 2 of them that I really enjoyed, and I played them over and over again. The other 3 were just, I played through them once and I was just like, whatever. It was good, but it wasn't great. So you have to ask yourself, was it really worth it buying all the DLCs for the game when only 2 of the DLCs you look forward to going back and playing over and over again? I would say no. But anyway, that's all I got to say on that front. And unrelated, I'm going to throw this out toward the end. I'm not going to get into a deep conversation about this, but I will say this much, guys. If there is a game fixing to come out, some of you are going to understand where I'm coming from. Some of you may not. If there is a video game coming out and you're really excited about it, and something's happened to where the devs are being canceled, just like with Hogwarts Legacy. You remember Hogwarts Legacy when people were like, we're going to boycott it, and then when the game launched and all these streams, people were trying to stream the game and they were getting bullied and threatened and doxxed and all that other garbage. It didn't stop Hogwarts Legacy from being a very popular game. Thank goodness for that, because, having a bunch of complete strangers bully you out of a game that you want to enjoy and that you do enjoy is unacceptable. So, with that said, if there is a game coming out that you're really excited about, and you may not agree with some of the viewpoints that devs have on that game, and everybody wants to boycott that game, do not let those people bully you out of a game that you think you will really enjoy. It is your hobby. Gaming is yours. Gaming is mine. Our gaming experience does not belong to the masses. It belongs to you and me. So if you want that game and you want to pre-order that game, or you can't wait for it to come out, don't let strangers push you away from it. Okay? All right, that's unrelated, but kind of related, but unrelated, right? It's your gaming. Gaming is you. Gaming is me. It's not the masses, okay? So anyway, that's all I got for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip. I'm so happy Claptrap's not in the background in this one. He was funny the first 20 hours in Borderlands 3 when you were in the menu like this. He was funny the first 20 hours, but after 600-700 hours of Claptrap being in the menu, doing his silly little things in the background, it got old. So I'm happy he's not here to distract the shit out of us while we're talking. Anyway, yes, that is all I got for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side. Yeah, baby.